welcome to the webinar, Fronius webinar, Fronius applications. Could you please raise your hands if you can hear me? There is a hand symbol which you can click. Thanks. Thank you very much. Now I see that you can hear me. Thanks for raising your hand. Yeah. Then I will straightly jump into the webinar today. So today's topic is Fronius applications. I'm Vinod from Fronius, Denmark. Today I'm going to discuss about the Fronius applications for commissioning, monitoring, and service Fronius products, inverters, and OHMPILOT, and other EV charging machines, things like that. So there are 3 different Fronius apps for each purpose. For example, Solar.STart, that's the commissioning app. You can also commission your Fronius inverter in your desktop, in your computer, a tab, without using this app. Still, this is the easiest way. We recommend. We will see how it works. And the next one is the Solar.SOS, Fronius Solar Online Support. That's the service app we have. It's for troubleshooting, and also you can get the information about the device. For example, if you enter serial number, you can find the name of the device and the warranty information, and also you can have an overview about your service cases here if you create service cases through this app. And then the next one is Fronius Solar.web. That's the monitoring app where you can visualize the production, and also in case if there is any error, there will be a notification in this app. And also you can compare your production with others. There are many functions available here. Also you can simulate the battery, or you can simulate the OHMPILOT. We will have a detailed look in the webinar today. So these are all the 3 topics we are going to cover today. To start with, Solar.STart app. What are the key features? The main function of this app is commissioning of a Gen 24 Plus or Tauro inverter or a data manager from a SNAPINVERTER. So if you know the Gen 24 Plus or Tauro inverter, there is no display. So basically for monitoring, commissioning, and also the product setup like country setup, you have to rely on this app for Gen 24 and Tauro. When it comes to SNAPINVERTER like Simos or Galvo or Echo inverter, you can set up the product information or start up the inverter in the inverter display itself. But still, for commissioning the monitoring, you need to use this app. Or you can, of course, you can always do it in the web browser. Still, this is the easiest way. And then there is no monitoring inside this app. It will be directly linked to the Solar.web account or the inverter's web interface page for monitoring from this app. This is easy for Wi-Fi connection for commissioning, so you don't have to do any Wi-Fi settings. As soon as you initiate the Wi-Fi access point in the inverter, if you open this app, this can find the inverter easily. And also it's very easy for connecting the web interface page of the data manager or the Gen 24 Plus in case if you want to change any settings of the inverter, for example, a dynamic power reduction or load management, or if you want to add a OHMPILOT to your system, it's very easy if you connect through this app. Otherwise, remember, if it is the web browser version, you have to connect your smart device to the Wi-Fi access point of the inverter, and then you have to go to the browser, entering the IP address, and then you have to enter the settings and you have to enter the service part. So it's a long process. But if you do it in this app, then it's much more easier. And also there is a link from this app to the SOS, Fronius SOS. That's mainly for the installer support. We will see how SOS works in the next upcoming slides. And also you can register any product in the Solar.START app itself. So to look, if you have your mobile phone, this is how this app icon looks. Fronius Solar.start, and then there will be a Fronius logo in it. As soon as you enter into the app, then you will see a welcome page, and then there are two possibilities. You can directly start installing your product, or you can log in with your email ID and password if you have an IAM account with Fronius. Otherwise, you can create one. Well, how do I start? You can start installing without any login. Simply just start installation, and then you will be asked in the next page, you will be asked what product you want to install and things like that. Or if you start with the login process, then of course you will be reminded that you have to activate the Wi-Fi access point. Otherwise, Wi-Fi access point in the device, otherwise you can't connect this app. So if you initiate the Wi-Fi access point in the device, then the app will automatically connect to the or find your product. So this is the next page. If you click the button start installation, this is how it looks. It asks you to choose the product. So it can be a Gen 24 or Tauro. There are three different product listed here because each one of them are different. For example, Gen 24 and Tauro inverters, they do not have a display. So if you are installing this product, you have to choose the country setup and the language, these kind of setups in the app itself. So that's why there is a three different menu here. Or if it is a snap inverter, then you have to do the country setup and other things in the inverter display itself. So you need this app only for commissioning the monitoring. And then it can be other device, for example, data manager box or a data manager card for a IG plus inverter. In this case, this is different. So please choose the menu which is applicable for you. And then in the setup page, as I explained, so these three things are different versions. I hope you all know how the setup of Gen 24 done and Snap Inverter done. Otherwise, there is a separate webinar for it. You can watch the detailed webinar about how to commission or install a Gen 24 a Tauro inverter, or how to commissioning monitoring of a Snap inverter. There is a different webinar available for that. This is a webinar where we talk about the apps, how it looks and how it is integrated. And then there will be a reminder for GPS settings pops up. This is necessary to search the SSID. And also it asks for permissions like camera, location, and storage, because if you want to scan the data matrix in the Gen 24 Tauro inverter, then this app needs to access your camera. And also the location, it needs access to your location for searching the SSID with the Wi-Fi. And then it needs to access your storage of the device, the mobile phone, because if you want to download the PDF files or any documentation, like for example, if you want to submit the country setup grid settings for your grid owner, you can go and download the country setup. In this, you can find all the informations like disconnection or connection limits for the voltage inner limit, outer limit, or grid fail disconnection limits. So there are many values available, parameters available. So if you want, you can simply download it and submit it to the whoever. For sometimes the customer wants it, or sometimes the grid owner wants it. So it's up to you to whom you submit it. So that's why we need to access the storage of your mobile phone. And also, in case if you want to do some offline updates, for example, if you do not have a very good internet connection at your site or in the place where the inverter is installed, then you have to download the software update beforehand, and then you can do an offline update. For this purpose also, this app needs to access your storage. So that's why we ask permission for these three things. Let's see how the setup of the Gen 24 and Tauro done. Like a quick overview, as soon as you install the inverter, then you can activate the Wi-Fi access point by just touching the send button in the inverter. Then as soon as you activate the Wi-Fi access point, if you open the app, for Android devices it will be automatically connected, but for iOS device you have to manually search and connect to the SSID of the inverter. So you can always choose the manual connection, and then that's where it asks you to scan the data matrix. Otherwise, you can also go for the Wi-Fi settings. If you click the Wi-Fi settings, then you can enter the SSID of the inverter and then establish a connection. You know the password for Fronius Wi-Fi access point is always 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, the numbers. So after connecting successfully, then there are some informations like you have to choose the date of installation, country setup, and then other details. You can always watch this YouTube. Of course, I will send this presentation after the webinar today or tomorrow. I will send a follow-up email. You will get the link. So use this link and then you can follow the Gen 24 Plus commissioning. In case of setup for the snap inverters, as I mentioned earlier, in snap inverter you will not do the inverter setup in the app, but in the inverter display. So it is only for commissioning of the monitoring of the snap inverter. So how do you activate the Wi-Fi access point? In case if you are very new to the Fronius inverters, just go to the display of the inverter and then go to setup menu. There you can find Wi-Fi access point. If you enter into the Wi-Fi access point, you can activate it. There you can see the SSID of the Fronius snap inverter and also the key for this Wi-Fi. So you can use your mobile phone or laptop to connect to this Wi-Fi access point, and then you can proceed with the commissioning of the monitoring. So for detailed information about the commissioning process, you can watch this webinar in the link, YouTube link. In case of other installations, you know, if it is a data manager box or if it is an IG plus inverter, you know, you have to activate the switch in the device to A position, and then in the IG plus display you can go to the Wi-Fi access point. You can activate similar to the snap inverter, and then you can connect your laptop or the smartphone to this device, and then you can proceed with commissioning. I'm not here to explain in very detail about how the setup pages of the individual inverter looks. As I just mentioned before, it's a webinar about the Fronius Solar apps. So that's why I'm skipping the detailed installation or commissioning pages. Login process. Remember, in the beginning itself, I mentioned there are two options available. You can start installing an inverter or commissioning the inverter, or you can log in. So in case if you already have a Fronius account, IAM login, then as soon as you log into your account, you will find the menu here. On the right side, you see the screenshot picture of the app. Maybe your app today might be different. This is a screenshot from the previous version. Maybe there are some new adaptations today, but please feel free to ask your questions. In case if I don't have enough time today, after the webinar, I will write back to you with the answers. Or you can always contact me to my email address, or you can call me, then I will explain. Or you can always call the Fronius tech support team. They can help you with. So to start installation, then that's the first step. So if you are here to start the installation, or if you want to install a new inverter or whatever to the if you are installing a data manager card to the existing snap inverter, this is where you start. So go to start installation, and then you will be asked which device you want to start. And then the other menus are like product registration. You know, you have to register your product in order to extend the warranty of your Fronius inverter or OHMPILOT, whatever. So simply by taking the product out of the box, it doesn't have like 7 years or 5 years of warranty. Plus, you have to register your Fronius inverter or Fronius system in the Solar.START app or in the Solar.web app in order to extend your free warranty of 5 years or 7 years. It depends on your country. Please look into your individual country terms and conditions for warranty. And then the Solar.web, in case if you want to directly add a new device to your existing Solar.web account, or if you want to see your Solar.web monitoring, then you can click this menu, then it will take you to the Solar.web app. And then if you want to go directly to the inverter web interface page, for example, I have an existing inverter, I want to control my pool pump whenever I produce more than 5,000 watt or something, then to do this setup, simply you can go to this Solar.START app and then directly go to the inverter web interface page. Here you can do the setup. It doesn't have to be this IO setting, it can be anything like battery, adding battery or something like that. And then OHMPILOT web interface, if you want to change any setup, for example, if you want to change the temperature of the hot water or the weekly once heating for salmonella killing things, these kind of setups can be done in the interface. So this button is the kind of shortcut to the web interface page for the OHMPILOT. Also, you can go to the SOS app directly from this Solar.START app. If you click this, if you have already installed Fronius SOS app, you will be taken into this app. And there you can do, for example, kind of like troubleshooting. For example, if you are installing something and then if you need some help, then directly you can go here to the SOS and then you can contact tech support, or you can find yourself by entering a state code or something. And then the support tools, here you will get this is a link to the tools for installers on Fronius homepage, where you can find all the manuals or how to do guides or latest software update for your inverter or OHMPILOT, or link to the webinars or data sheets or certificates for our products, all listed here. So if you click this link, you will be taken into the browser and the landing page will be the support tool for the installer. Under the settings page, you can clear the cache memory, like deleting all the stored data. Sometimes there can be a problem while registering the inverter or accessing the web interface page of the inverter or OHMPILOT. In such case, if you call our tech support, sometimes we tell, please clear the cache memory of the app. Then this is where you do it. If you go to the settings, you can clear the cache memory. And then you can find the data policy there, on terms and conditions are listed in this under the settings. And then if you want to return to the landing page, you can just click log out, so that you will be out, and then you will be in the landing page where you will be asked for start installation or login again. Isn't it cool with just one app where you can access the interface page of OHMPILOT or inverter or battery, or also you can extend the warranty from there. You can also reach the Solar.SOS app or Solar.web app. It's really nice. Please try to download the Solar.START app and then try to play around with it. Just give us your feedback, or if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Then the next thing is Fronius SOS. Why do I need a SOS app? Well, it is very fast, informative, and easy to use. This is a self-service tool. If you know the web browser version of Fronius SOS, then technically it's the same, but in the app function. We have improved certain things from the feedbacks you have already provided, and this is an app. It is available for 24/7, like without any waiting period. You can log in and you can find the manuals, you can find the error codes. For example, if you enter the serial number and the error code, this app will already guide you to troubleshoot and identify the problem and clear it. Or you can also even exchange spare parts using this app. You can order the exchange spare parts, or you can simply use this for data query. You don't have to write an email to us and wait for, hey, what is the warranty period on this inverter? You don't have to write an email or give a call to us. You simply go to this app, enter the serial number. You can already find the warranty information, or in case if a customer calling you and telling that I have a broken Fronius inverter or something is wrong with this inverter, then you can simply, you don't have to ask him like, please read what is the inverter is, and you don't have to wait for these things. You can simply ask for serial number. As soon as you enter the serial number, this will provide information about the inverter. You will see detailed version, what all the information you will be receiving as soon as you enter the serial number in the upcoming slides. And also this app will have a stored history. For example, you can find all your case history. But for that, please remember, you have to create a case through this app. If you create it, you can always follow up your case history and what are the troubleshootings you have done for those cases, and also you can follow up the exchange process very easily. Let's go how it looks. So the icon of the Fronius app looks like this suitcase symbol with a plus, a red plus in it, and with a Fronius logo. As soon as you enter here, also you are going to use IAM login. As soon as you log in, if you don't have a login for yourself, you can create one. Then Fronius will send you the confirmation link to your email. As soon as you confirm it, you are good to go. This is how the desktop version looks. For example, there will be 5 menus on the left side: troubleshooting, cases, device data, exchange or repair, and manuals. Maybe there is a recent change in last week. You won't find it. As soon as you log in, you won't find this menu, example exchange or repair, which means you are not allowed to do an exchange or repair. To do an exchange or repair, you have to have you have to sign the declaration of consent, but you don't have to worry. Not like previously, you have to fill up this form manually by hand and then scan it, sign it and scan it. You have to send it to us and wait for a day before you can start do the exchange. But no more this written declaration of consent. You can do it digitally. As soon as you log into the app, you will be asked, if you want to do an exchange, you will be asked to create a customer number. There you can enter your email address and your details about your company. Then you can digitally sign this document. Then after that you will receive the customer number. As soon as you have a customer number, you are good to go with exchanging of any products. And then the next key feature of this Solar.SOS app is you can switch over your account. For example, you are a company, but you individual company doing services on Fronius inverter for many other EPC companies. I know in Denmark there are like companies who do only the service job for bigger EPC companies. So it's not like tied up to one individual company. For example, I'm company A, but I'm doing service for X, Y, Z companies, so 3 companies. Then I can have 3 accounts created by myself within an individual account. Then you can see what are all the service cases related to my X company, what is the service case related to my Y company. So based on that, you can create individual companies within this one login. So you can manage multiple accounts within one SOS account. What are the other features? You can find all information about the inverter or about the installation instructions, manuals, service instruction, and what is the cost for the spare part, and these kind of things, like a short video clip for the installation or troubleshooting. These kind of things are available within this SOS app. If you go to the manual, in the bottom of you can see on the right side there is a screenshot. So this is how the app looks. So if you go to the manuals, you can find all kind of information. For example, some are downloadable PDF, but some are from the HTML, like the browser version of the manuals or videos. As I mentioned earlier, if you are receiving a call from an ex-customer, maybe he's not your customer, he's someone with a Fronius inverter, with a broken inverter. As soon as he calls you, you can ask for, you don't have to ask him for what is the device installed, or do you have a warranty or not, if it is registered, is it monitored online. You don't have to worry about any of these things. You just ask him the serial number of the inverter. As soon as you enter the serial number, you can see on the right hand side you will get the device name. If it is then light, means you already know it is not possible to monitor, or maybe he's a customer who has a data manager box additionally to it, or maybe he bought it later and retrofitted it. Then you can see the system name here. If it is monitored in the Solar.web, you can find the system name. You can also find the warranty information, how long this warranty plus, if he has a warranty plus, or if he has only the material warranty, you can find how long he has this. And then you have a link directly to the data logger ID, the IP address for the data logger ID. But of course, you cannot reach it if you are remotely. You cannot reach it. You have to be in the same network as the inverter to work around with this ID. Or maybe you can ask your customer to open his port forwarding in his router. Then you can access this PV system remotely. But that's a different story. You can always contact our tech support for further help on these topics. Main thing is, again, this troubleshooting. As soon as you enter the serial number, you can tell the product group, and then you can enter the state code. When you enter the state code, there will be a step-by-step instruction for the troubleshooting. For example, check the neutral cable on the AC side, or everything is missing, or maybe the fastening screw is missing. So it depends on what error code what state code you are entering into this system. Maybe there is no AC, there is no DC, low DC. So it can be anything. Just as soon as you enter the state code, this app will guide you through the troubleshooting process. And then it is always possible, as soon as you go to the cases, in the list of cases you can find all your details, and also you can see all your messages related to the case. So you can directly get in touch with the tech support team from this app. And also you can share pictures. For example, if you are standing on a site and then you don't have to type in your email or something, you can simply open the case, and then you can take a picture from this app, and then attach your picture, and it will be sent to the tech support team. And then when you call us, we already have the details necessary to help you out. So the communication is very simple and clear. Of course, you can use this app for troubleshooting throughout the day, or you can also order spare parts any time of the day. But of course, you cannot reach the tech support like during night times. We are awaiting some setup changes. There'll be a big news on this, but not now. I do not have a timeline about that. So during the working hours, you can send the messages here, or you can send messages in the evenings, and then you have to wait until the next day to get a response from us. Key features of the Solar app. Again, another very important feature, I really like it, because when I was working as a tech support, most of the time customer calls and asks what is the tracking ID for this spare part. I haven't received it. Maybe he already received it on site, but the end customer did not inform the installer about the delivery. You don't have to worry about such problems now. As soon as you open your case, you can always find the delivery information. You can see which product you have, which spare part you have ordered with this for this case, and also you can see the tracking ID in this app. And then you can see if it is delivered or if it is out for delivery. You can easily follow up, and you can plan your exchange or service cases very easily with this app. And another feature, as I said, you can follow up all your cases listed here. You can also filter your cases just by entering the starting date or end date, or just by filtering cases in using the exact time. You can you can use the exact time when you created the case. With this, you can always follow up or narrow down your search which cases you want to look into. So you don't have to go through all the case titles or the name of the case. You don't have to remember anything about it. Simply, if you remember the date and time, then you can filter out the case, which case you want to look into it now. Or you can always search using the serial number if you have one, or the case number. If you know the case number, you can simply using the search function to follow up the cases. And then last but not least, the Solar.web app. This is very important because this is where most of the time the end customer spends. And also this is where you can get more business into. How? Of course, all our Fronius inverters are coming with a inbuilt integrated monitoring device inside it. We call it the Pilot in the Gen 24 and Tauro. If it is the Snap inverter, we call them a data manager card. Of course, you can buy a light version of a Snap inverter. Still, we always recommend to have a full version with the data manager card in it, because it is very important to monitor the inverter's production remotely. This allows you to for example, if you want to do an update, it is possible remotely. Troubleshooting is possible remotely once you monitor this inverter in the Solar.web. We also recommend to use a smart meter, because smart meter is the key which is going to help you for future sales. Why? Because, or let's see how it is helping you for the future sales, upselling. And then the Solar.web app, it's free, fully free of charge. In case a customer want to have a very detailed version, or if he want to do a simulation, he has to buy a premium version. We'll see what are the difference between the premium version or the normal version in the upcoming slides. Very important feature of why a customer has to know about Solar.web is the product registration. Remember, I mentioned in the Solar.START app, this is important to register your inverter in order to extend the warranty of the inverter. So basically, you will get 2 years of warranty as soon as you remove the inverter from the box, and then you can extend it for free up to 3 or 5 years. It depends on your country, and it depends on your options. If it is warranty plus, it's 3 years. If it is warranty, it's 5 years. But of course, please check follow up for your individual country. I don't want to comment here about any numbers. So it is very important to register your product. So as soon as you log into your Solar.web, if it is app or if it is a browser, doesn't matter, in the top right corner you can see product registration. As soon as you click the button, then you will be taken into the page where you have to enter the serial number, installation date, and the country. And then as soon as you choose the country, it is possible to find, as soon as you type your first 3 letters or 2 letters, there will be a list of installers will be shown. If you are not there, there will be a button add new installer. You can add your company there, and then you can register the inverter, and then you can extend the warranty. As soon as you register, you will find the button for extend the warranty. Excuse me. Yeah, then why is it important to have it monitored? When you enter the Solar.web, you can see actual energy flow from your inverter to the battery, or inverter to the home, or in the front page itself you can see the overview of the different production or consumption. And then next to it you can already see the energy balance of the day or month or the year. And then you can also see the self-consumption and how much you are earned, or how much CO2 you saved, or in case if you have a premium account, you can already see how much I'm going to produce today or tomorrow. So, and with the premium service, you can always create a detailed report, and also data analysis is possible with the premium Solar account, and the consumption analysis is possible. As I said, the weather widget, so yield for the next 48 hours can be seen. Without the premium itself, it is very important to monitor so that as soon as you have a error code, state code, this inverter will send you a message. So you will receive a service message for error code produced by the inverter. Then you can decide what step you have to take. Maybe I need to update the software, or just I have to change some settings, or maybe there is a wrong country setup chosen. So these kind of things can be very useful if you are monitoring in the Solar.web. Otherwise, remember, you will receive a call as soon as you install the inverter within an hour. If there is no sun, customer can call you and ask, hey, it's not producing. Then you can simply, if you open and see if it is monitored in Solar.web, you can already give the answer. Or if a customer is calling you, you can already tell him, yeah, well, I have received the service message too. You don't have to worry about this service message. It's just because of low DC, there is no enough sun, or it can be any reason. Or you can simply say it's the fuse triggered. I'm already planning the visit next week or tomorrow. So it's easy. You are one step ahead of your customer. So if you monitor this. And of course, remote update is possible using the Solar.web app or the browser version. Then most of the times Solar software updates solve the problems. Sometimes you have to be on site. It depends on the problems. Then remember, I said it is helpful for upselling. How? Well, you can analyze the energy balance from your customer. If you install a smart meter, you can already see how much he is consuming in which hour. If a customer, let's say if a customer is consuming a lot of energy in the 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning, then based on this, you can, if you have a smart meter and if you know which load it is, maybe you can already suggest him to shift the load. Try to, if it is a heating system, try to heat it the day before in the evening with the excess energy available from PV, or you can, based on the load, you can shift it to the daytime of the upcoming next day, or you can offer him a battery. Okay, you just need this much energy in the morning, which is you are already producing the day before, so maybe you can install a battery. Then you don't have to worry about the grid prices. You can use your own energy. So you can provide an energy consulting offer to your customer. That's upselling. And then the new features, if you click the bubble chart, it will provide you a detailed version of what is consumed by the electric vehicle or general consumption, or how much is the total consumption. Based on your the available data, it will give more detailed information. And by clicking the bubbles, you will receive it. And then the look, it looks different now. I don't know if you are following up. This is I don't know, it's since last year, but for many people it's very new. So this green is the battery charge sent to the battery. Then this green line is the state of charge of the battery, and then the red one, that's the heating, the energy taken into the heating, and then this yellow is the PV production. Then the gray is the grid consumption. So this is the consumption, how much you have consumed for the day. You can see the energy here, or if it is for the OHMPILOT, you can already see the degree Celsius here, and also if it is a battery, you can see the percentage here. So you can move around your cursor to see the percentage of charging. Or if you click these bubbles, small bubbles, you can see the state of charge or message from the battery systems if you have a battery. And if you have a premium account, you can already forecast how much energy you are expected to produce today and tomorrow. So it basically produces the chart for next 48 hours. Then you can already decide how you can consume this, or if you have a smart home, you can already integrate this data into your system, and then you can automate your home in a better way for increasing self-consumption. And then the data analysis, based on the data, then you can, with a premium account, you can already check how your return of investment looks, how much you are saving based on the consuming your own energy, or how much you are yielding by exporting the energy into the grid. You can enter the feed-in tariff in the system. For that, then it will be calculated how much you saved on consumption and how much you yield by selling the energy to the grid company. And also you can compare multiple systems. Maybe you are a customer with many systems at your home, or if you are an installer, you can compare and send a report. Well, look, your system performed as much as the all other systems installed in your area, so there is no problem. Or it can be used for anything, or it can be for your self understanding how different panels work. So you can use this data for much more things. And then if you have a smart meter, you can monitor the load profile. Then okay, I can see here in the morning 7 to 9 a.m. I have a big load. Maybe I can shift this load to a different time in the day. By that I can consume my own energy. I don't have to send the energy to the grid. And then there is an option called the battery simulation. Of course, you can simulate using this function. You can simulate and see how much or how big the battery has to be in order to meet the self-sufficiency or self-consumption you are expecting. For example, if you choose the battery type you want to use, for example, instead of 6.4, you can choose 8.9 or whatever you want. If you click this arrow mark, you will be listed with the available batteries for your system, and then you can click this simulate button, and then it will show how much you are increasing your self-sufficiency based on the battery. Here, this customer has increased the self-sufficiency from 35 to 55% by just installing a 6.4 kilowatt hour battery. This is an example. And then you can see how much this battery helped in the individual months from December to October or November. You can, based on the available data, this chart will be prepared. So if this is why it's very important, if you just sell a smart meter, then the customer's consumption pattern will be clearly known to us. Then this can create or simulate how big the battery has to be and how much is the return of investment. Based on this, you can calculate. It is same for the heating solution. In case if the customer is using oil or gas or air heat pump, doesn't matter, there are many options available. Or if it is an electric one, then you can choose the boiler size and you can enter the cost of electricity and what is the feed-in tariff. Then if you simulate this will show how much he can improve his self-consumption by just installing a OHMPILOT. Most of the times OHMPILOT is increasing the self-consumption much better than a battery, but of course it depends on the load profile we are looking into it. And then based on this simulation, it will show how many years, what is the lifetime of your system. You can enter it. Then it will show how much you are saving each year, and then how many percentage you are saving each year. This will be shown, and based on this report, you can suggest your customer to buy a OHMPILOT, or maybe he can buy a bigger tank, for example. Then in this case, if he put up more, maybe he can save more because he's producing a lot of energy and then sending it to the grid most of the time. So this is very new and cool functions available in Solar.web. Please feel free to go to Fronius Solar.web.com, or you can of course download the new app, and you can check the functions available. And if you have any questions, you can always contact us. Well, I think it's the end of the webinar today. Thank you very much for listening to me.